How are we, my friends? And you are most welcome along to this Trent Alexander-Arnold exit special video here on Anfield Agenda. I want to start off by thanking Connor for sharing his thoughts earlier on. You may have seen Connor uploaded a video when the news broke. Over the course of the next 8 to 10 minutes, I'm going to give you my take on the situation. As regular viewers of our channel will know, I've just sat back throughout this entire Trent saga and said to people, there is no right or wrong way to feel. You feel however you feel, and I'm not going to tell you to feel otherwise. Today, I'm going to have my say. I've kept my counsel in the main all the way through this process out of respect for the situation. But today, I'm going to give you my unfiltered take on the Trent situation. Before we do, we're going to go through and read out the statement that Trent released today, and then we'll get stuck into it. So, I'm sure you've heard this one already, but in case there are people watching who haven't, this is what Trent had to say. After 20 years at Liverpool Football Club, now is the time for me to confirm that I will be leaving at the end of the season. This is easily the hardest decision I've made in my life. I know many of you wondered why, or been frustrated with the fact that I haven't spoken about this yet, but it was always my intention to keep my full focus on the team's best interests, which is securing number 20. This club has been my whole life, my whole world for 20 years, from the academy right through until now. The support and love I felt from everybody inside and outside of the club will stay with me forever. I will forever be in debt to you all, but I've never known anything else, and this decision is about experiencing a new challenge, taking myself out of my comfort zone and pushing myself both professionally and personally. I've given my all every single day of this journey. Every day I've been at this club, and I hope you feel like I've given back to you during my time here. From the bottom of my heart, I thank everybody, my coaches, my managers, my teammates, the staff, and our incredible supporters for the last 20 years. I've been blessed enough to live out my dreams here, and I will never ever take for granted the special moments I've been fortunate enough to have lived through with you all. My love for this club will never die. So that's what Trent Alexander-Arnold had to say, and very quickly after that, we start seeing posts being put out saying that Trent had dreamt about playing for Real Madrid since he was a kid, and this is exactly what I had been warning about. It's all very well and good, Trent saying he's keeping his counsel, but he did allow the club to be rinsed publicly and privately, and now I'm going to have my say on it. So this is my take on the Trent Alexander-Arnold situation. I think that that statement is a work of fiction, and while some of it, I'm sure, he thinks that he feels or thinks that we will accept, the truth of the matter is he has looked after himself, his own interests. He's taken those 20 years at the football club and he's thrown them in the bin. And the reasons for these, well, they're multifaceted. Let me start off with the fee. He's leaving Liverpool Football Club for free. And he's leaving Liverpool Football Club for free for one reason and one reason alone: greed. If he actually gave a damn about this football club, this situation wouldn't have been in the works for 2 years. He would have signed a new contract with a lower release clause. But like I've said to you guys before, the reason that he didn't do that is because he knows damn well that Real Madrid only want him because he's free. We've already seen today Madrid fans rinsing their own club for agreeing to sign Trent, saying this is the guy that left Vinny Jr. unmarked in the penalty area when we beat them. They don't want Trent at the club. Trent is going to be absolutely lambasted publicly, privately, and in the media over there. And I'm sick of the whole situation. To me, Trent now goes in the category with Michael Owen and other players who have left Liverpool Football Club for selfish reasons. I don't buy for 1 second the 20 years that he feels like he's been a part of a journey. Trent's rise to stardom has been fueled by the support he's been given by Liverpool supporters, both local and around the world. And today, all he has done is crumpled up that and thrown it back in their face. Personally, I'll be glad the saga's over. I've said all the way through we would be a better team with Trent in it, and I'm not going to change my mind on that. But I've always had the feeling that Trent was going to depart because he strikes me as a selfish person. There's video doing the rounds of his brother laughing when we go 2-0 down in the cup final. I don't know what type of situation these guys think this is, but privately, this has been in the works for a long time, as we've known. So that, to me, in a statement, is just PR nonsense that isn't backed up with reality. Liverpool fans around the world will be sharing their thoughts on this one. But for me, Trent is a coward. like I've said all the way through, because he didn't want to front up and face up to the situation that he'd known about for a long time. Staying private, staying quiet means nothing. What was this? What was taking the top off and pounding your chest? The real Trent came out once again yesterday, where he was strolling around the pitch and didn't give a damn. In this piece and in other pieces written by journalists, there was talk about the game against Manchester United that he doesn't even remember the game. Nobody caused that but Trent. Nobody caused that confusion. Nobody caused any of that but Trent. The reason for that poor performance was because he knew he was sticking the knife in the back of every Liverpool fan and the club around the world. He has done this intentionally, he has done it willfully, and he has done it to look after his own best interests and, most importantly, his wallet. Yes, he has been a part of Liverpool's success, and for that, sincerely, thank you. But the way that you have left the football club, Trent, is the way that you are going to be remembered. This situation could have been handled and dealt with like a grown-up a long time ago, professionally and properly and with respect for the Liverpool fan base. Once again, though, we've seen that those people who are advising footballers in these situations, much like many others, are cowards and snakes. Trent could have fronted up when he knew that he was leaving, because he did know that he was leaving for a very long time. You'll see pieces and articles written today that said that Richard Hughes' first task when he came through the door was to try to convince Trent, but he was told very early in the process that the man wasn't returning, that Trent wasn't going to change his mind. So why all the silence? Because Trent's a coward, that's why. Trent didn't want to sit there and front up to the club media and the club staff, and Trent didn't want to have to go to Anfield and listen to it. I hope Trent doesn't have the balls to get on that parade and go around on that bus, because he will be rinsed. And you may sit here in the comment section, folks, and tell me that I should be thanking Trent, this, that, or the other. And like I've said, you're entitled to that opinion. But this few minutes is about my opinion. And my opinion is that Trent Alexander-Arnold is a snake. Trent Alexander-Arnold has spat in the face of his city and the people who have put him in the position that he's in. Yes, his own talent got there, but how much money did he make over the years from the local boy persona? How much money did he make from the Adidas deal that again looked back to his 20 years at the football club? 20 years at the football club sounds huge, but realistically some of those were as 7, 8, 9-year-old kids. The real money and the real success came, of course, when he broke into the first team, and Jurgen Klopp told him what to do. Jurgen Klopp guided him through. And as soon as Jurgen Klopp left, rather than being honest and upfront, because I believe that was the turning point for Trent, he decided to just work away on the plan of making sure that he can leave Liverpool Football Club for free. And that, my friends, is the most disgusting part of all of this. That Trent has left the football club for free just so he can line his own pockets. He knows, you know, I know, the world knows that Real Madrid don't want him that much and wouldn't pay a fee for him, and that this was the only way that he could get that move over there. You may say that's right or wrong. You may say that's okay or not. Not up for me to decide for you. Remember, these are only my words. As for the Ballon d'Or, don't make me laugh. You aren't going to win a Ballon d'Or at Liverpool, at Real Madrid, or anywhere else. And you talked about taking yourself out of your comfort zone. Why wouldn't you take yourself out of your comfort zone and sit in front of a camera and tell the Liverpool fans 6 months ago that you were leaving? Give Liverpool fans a chance to say, okay, this situation's hurting him, but he's fronting it up. Instead, Trent, you've done what many others have done and what your representation has done, which has turned you into a coward and somebody who will be rinsed by Liverpool Football Club fans. Personally, there's a Trent jersey hanging on my wall in my living room. Has been there alongside Diogo Jota and Virgil van Dijk for years. You're probably expecting me to say at this point, this is where I go out and smash it with a hammer. No, it's simply coming down off the wall and getting left outside for the bin men, because that's exactly where it belongs in my heart. In the bin. Trent, along with that shirt, can go off to Madrid, do whatever he wants to do, but don't think you're going to come back to the city you grew up in and be thought of as anything other than a turncoat and a snake. That's my thoughts on it. You're free to have yours. I'm glad the situation's come to an end. I'm glad we now no longer have to pussyfoot around it. And hopefully the club now start answering questions about it. Because telling the media they couldn't ask about it is cowardly as well. And I've said this all the way through this process. Cowards, cowards, cowards. That's my take on it all. If you talk about respect, it's a two-way street. You've got to give that to the fans and the club that put you in your place, but you haven't, Trent. You've lined your own pockets. So off you go, over to Madrid. Enjoy life over there with Jude Bellingham and all the other prima donnas. Watch out for the white handkerchiefs, Trent, because they'll be waving them at you quite a bit. And best not learn Spanish, because what you're going to see written about you in the media over there, well, you'll be wishing you were back at Liverpool getting a small bit of criticism from the fans. Over to you now, folks. Let me know your thoughts. Quite frankly, we'll deal with this in more detail tonight's late night agenda. But for me right now, glad it's over. Trent the Coward can go off to Madrid and slither his way over there, and we'll move on as a football club. But don't talk about 20 years and what it means to you, Trent, because it's hollow and it's empty.